Can't I do these?
There we go. You're live.
Alrighty, we are in fact live. Where the hell is my? I'm already swearing. Couldn't hold off on the swearing.
There we go. You're live. It shows that you're live.
Cool. Alrighty. In that case, well, hello everybody who joining us now or in the future. Today we're going to talk about, well, my friend Black Sheep here, his lovely childhood in the Jehovah's Witnesses. We're going to touch on a few points that I'm sure a lot of people that may be watching this can relate to. He's going to have some help from his friend Wolf to get through his story, and I hope that everything comes out all right and that you're not too upset by this by the end of it. But alrighty then, man, take it away. It's all yours.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right. I'm going to start with basically, how were you exposed to the JW? Explain that.
Well, I was born in, and it's interesting because it wasn't, hey, go to meetings, and from a little tiny age, I was around it,
right?
But I didn't study anything, and there was an interesting little thing. I apparently, and again, I'll start this off with a disclaimer. My father will say, no, none of this has happened, and I don't remember it, and all sort of minimalization, and this happened. I was there. He can deny it all he wants, but this is my life. This was my life. And there was a interesting little story he told me. Again, I cannot trust his word for nothing, except for I remember doing this. I pulled the Bible out on the kitchen table, and I said to him, hey, teach me. And he said, hey, hold up, wait a second. Be a child. You're not ready for this. So there was that. I was around it, but hold on. I have visual aids. I was around it.
Aw.
But
tiny little blonde boy.
right? But it was not, hey, study this and get indoctrinated in this, that, and the other. I was a kid for a little bit. And then I went to meetings when I was little, which honestly, I have a little picture of me in a suit. This was at a district convention. That's my father. Teeny little suit, teeny little bow tie. You know, so I was around it, but I was too young, too young to be fully indoctrinated. So, you know, it is what it is. And I was a child for a little bit. I have somewhere, and I lost it, but a picture of me sitting on Santa's lap.
Sitting what?
Sitting on Santa's lap.
Oh, in his lap.
Yeah, the whole Christmas time, and he basically did it as a service to my mother because she wasn't in, and he was. He was a baptized, in good standing witness. And also, there's this. It's a well, him and me in a birthday hat and the approved cake with no candles. You know,
Iconic birthday candles.
right? And then presents. That's my mother.
Aw.
Yeah. So it didn't. It wasn't like other children in the organization. It was just weird. Yeah, I was living a double life. Living a double life. There's pictures to prove it. There's stuff there that I can't. You can just get disfellowshipped for that sort of shit.
Oh yeah, for celebrating a
Period.
birthday, hell yeah. For Christmas,
Oh
yep.
yeah. So that's how I got introduced to it. Next question.
Okay. You mentioned your parents got divorced. Given Jehovah's Witnesses and their stance on divorce, and that your father was a member in good standing, why a divorce?
Okay, that's a whole nother animal. Story time. I was 7 years old, and I had seen my father be physically abusive to my mother. There was a day where it was particularly bad. They were yelling at each other, and I came down the stairs and I yelled at them, "Hey, stop it," as loud as I could. And then I went back upstairs and sat on the stairs just to see the reaction. And he immediately went to her and said, "Hey, see what you're doing? You see what you're doing to him?" At that point, I knew that they were going to get a divorce, and I knew it wasn't my fault. That was my way of going, okay, I know this is going to happen, but I didn't blame myself. Because most kids, they'll go, well, it was my fault, and this, that, and the other, and yada, 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 and they'll self-blame the divorce of their parents on, what they did. It wasn't me, it was him. He was the reason she filed. She filed. He didn't. So he had no choice but to divorce her because she didn't let it go. Period.
Yeah. Man, that sucks. And you thought it was your fault because of what he was saying.
No, I didn't think it was my fault.
Oh, well, that's good.
I did not think it was my fault.
But he tried to blame it on you, though. He tried to blame it on you, though.
No, nobody tried to blame it on me.
I'm sorry. He tried to blame it on her. Sorry, excuse me. He tried to blame it on her and make it seem like you were being affected by her, what she was doing, even though it was him acting like an asshole.
Yes.
But he was. Oh, man.
Hold on, I'm checking the live chat. You got the live chat?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got it on. It's booming right now. I didn't even see that. Yes, Excelsior. He was badly abused. Yep, that's true.
Yeah, I'll get into that.
I will make a little aside to this. I don't usually do live streams of any nature for anything, so I personally can't keep track of questions and stuff while I'm doing this. It would confuse
no worries.
me. So you can bring
I have like a hard time with that too. We can address those later after you're finished talking if you'd like.
Okay. If I see a pertinent question in the live chat, I will stop and go and answer it.
Sounds good. All right. Now you were saying?
All right, next one.
You mentioned in the past your father kidnapping you.
Okay. That's an interesting little anecdote too. I was 7 years old ish, and the divorce was finalized. It was real quick, and oh man, this is tougher than I thought it was going to be. So forgive me.
No, by all means, take your time. It's all good.
Okay. Okay. He found me outside. Okay. And actually, hold on. I digress. Let me set this up. He showed up one day and knocked on my door. I was alone. He knew her schedule, so he knew when I was alone. And I peeked through the window. You know how you if somebody's knocking on your door and you're alone, you, hey, who is it? Um, and me being 7 years old, I didn't go, peek through the window real tiny. I went and pulled it up and open so he could see my face. And hey, he's like, oh, hey, open the door. And I grabbed the portable cell phone, the brick phone, the big one, and ran to the bathroom and paged my mother 911 until there was no
crap.
room. And she told me, if he ever shows up, page me. I will come home. And so I go into the bathroom and I page my mom. And the next thing I know, I hear the back screen door open, and he's in the house. And he goes, Nathan, where are you? And at this point, I'm like, oh crap, he's gonna find me anyway, so I might as well just come out of the bathroom. And I still had the phone in my hand. I did not have the presence of mind to sit it down in the bathroom, so he did not know that I contacted somebody. Yes, I am an only child. Edie,
Sorry,
yes, I am an
you
only
froze
child.
there for just a little second. You froze there for a second, and I didn't hear the last sentence you said.
Okay. I have no.
Sorry
There we go.
about
You have a picture. To answer Evie's question, yes, I am an only child. I picked up the phone, took it in the bathroom, paged my mom, and he came inside and he said, "Hey, Nathan, where are you?" And I come out of the bathroom because I'm like, well, shit, he's gonna find me anyway.
Sorry.
Yeah, no echo.
Sorry. I mean to.
It's okay. I paid for my mom. I took the phone outside into the living room, and I immediately regretted that decision. I knew that I should have put it in the bathroom because he logically thought, well, okay, who did you contact? And he asked me, hey, did you call your mother? And I couldn't lie to him because, well, he knew.
Yeah.
So what do? I'm like, yeah, I called her, I paged her. And he's like, okay, then here, let me give you this and see how you are, and just kind of try and be a decent father. He gave me a box full of Bernstein Bear books. You remember those? Yeah.
Yeah, those are the ones that people are having like the Mandela effect now, and they remember it as being spelled completely differently.
Funny thing about that, I remember the day that it turned from A to E, or E to A. It's funny because I flipped through them, and they all said A, but that's beside the point. So now saying that, he left and hopped over the cinder block wall, and me being 7, I didn't think to lock the back door. There was a cinder block freaking wall, so there's no way I'm okay, yeah. So later on, he found me outside, And I was riding my bike, and he's like, "No, hey, do you want to take a drive?" And I'm like, yeah, sure, because he's my dad. I didn't know what was going on. She wasn't, forthcoming with the information as far as I can remember. I knew they were going through a divorce, but it wasn't. There was a restraining order on him. I didn't know that it included me as well. So, screw it. I'm 7. So I'm like, yeah, sure, cool. Let's go for a drive. Where are we going? He took me to the Grand Canyon.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Hold on.
You pulling out some pics?
Oh.
Thanks, by the way.
This was taken that day.
The day that he took you.
Yes. Yes. And I didn't know. If you can tell by my face, I'm a happy little kid. Who gives a shit? It's cool. Look, look where we are.
You had no idea what was going on, really. You were just like,
yeah, no.
Yay.
So
man,
I was in Tucson, Arizona. And if you know where the Grand Canyon is compared to where Tucson is, he took me across county lines. So thanks, Evie. She's like, "Aw." So he brought me back later that day. We went both to the North and South Ridge. So it was a while. It was a while. And he took me back. And on the drive back, he stopped at a warehouse that was full of bricks, and kilos of weed. Yeah. And
that sounds awesome.
Right?
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
And when he stopped, he's like, hey, stay in the car for a little bit. No, wait, hold on. Give me a second. Go ahead and come inside with me. He didn't want to leave me alone. So I come inside and immediately smelled this weird stench. And I looked around and it was just green everywhere.
Wow.
Everywhere.
Paradise.
Yeah. Kilos, bricks.
That is insane.
And
you had no idea what that was at the time. You're like,
I didn't. I didn't. And I'm like, oh, hey, cool. No, it's whatever. And he's like, stand by the door.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Don't move. Stand by the door. And so he does whatever he does. I again didn't. I stood by the door. What was I going to do? Go to the car and drive? Just
right.
I didn't. Hate is a strong word. Lady being a live chat. Okay. So we go back into the car and he takes me home. Now, when he pulls up into the driveway, I see 2 cop cars and 4 cops talking to my mother. And I'm thinking, whoa, what did he do? What did he do wrong? It wasn't me. I didn't think that I had done anything wrong. Again, I knew he was bad news. So I get out the car and she goes, get in the house now. So I'm like, okay. So I walk down the sidewalk, get into the apartment, and the last thing I see is all 4 cops go up to my dad and start talking to him.
And talk to him. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Yeah, and talk to him. Whew, man. Hold on, what's he saying? Spring cult needs to go down. This cult needs to go down. Yes, it does. I haven't even gotten to the good part.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I stayed inside, and that was that. She didn't blame me for going, and I didn't know what happened to him. I didn't see him get arrested. Nothing. But later on, I saw this white piece of paper on the door, and it was having it be explained later by Wolf. It seems that it was a notice of, hey, look, this guy is not supposed to be here. Let your neighbors know. And it was on the door for a week. Just to let people.
What was that last phrase that you said?
It was left on the door, that piece of paper, the notice of what's the
what's become standard policy recently in the past 5-10 years or so is a sheriff will sometimes post the notice to the neighbors and people who come to the door that such and such has a restraining order. They're not supposed to be here. Do not give them information. It doesn't happen always, but it's supposed to be standard policy now. And
right.
Basically, that's what from what it sounds like, that's what they did, is they posted that notice after it became an issue.
We have a question from a tech consultant. Please tell me this one elder who had a warehouse full of weed. LOL, that would be funny.
A warehouse full.
Actually, it was a friend of his that he'd met up with, and it was enough weed to have a cartel would be jealous. So
wow.
I cannot say to that. I know, right? I cannot say who or what, but it is what it is. I didn't know. All I knew was stand by the door. Period. Anyway, where was I? Oh, restraining order.
Yeah.
Restraining order.
They posted the restraining order there for a week.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me, let that piece of paper be. Period. Don't touch it. And I did what was told of me.
Like a good Jehovah's Witness kid.
Right? Headship, man. Tell you what. But anyway, next one.
Okay, all things considered, the abuse and all of that, how did you end up with your dad?
Man, this is turning into story time.
This is definitely story time.
Okay. When I was 11, my mother and I were doing laundry. And, I missed my dad. I wanted to see him. I knew that he was bad news, but, a kid wants to see his father. So she asked me, do you want to go and see him? See him.
Right. See.
Yeah. And it was over summer break. So it was supposed to be for, a 3-month period. And I was supposed to go back to her.
You were supposed to what? I'm sorry, that last sentence cut out.
I was supposed to go back to her.
Oh,
it was supposed to be a 3-month. It was supposed to be a 3-month thing, and cool, he's alive, and everything is this, that, and the other, and it's okay.
And it didn't happen that way, huh?
Huh?
That way, though, did it?
No.
The 3-month thing.
No, it did not. I called my mom and I told her that I wanted to stay with him. It's a kitty. I told her that I wanted to stay with him.
You told her you wanted to like live there and stuff?
Yeah.
Yep.
And that segues into how he did it. He asked me one day, 2.5 months into the visit, son, what would you rather have? And this is the inflection. Listen to this. Son, what would you rather have? $1 million or eternal life?
Is that what you said?
Yes, correct.
I didn't even hear you. I just guessed because I figured that's what you would be holding over your head. Of course.
Yep. I mean, can you hear me now? Are you good?
Oh yeah, it's just that it cuts out at random places. So, but every time that it's something like that, I be able to understand. Like I ask you to repeat it, so don't worry.
Okay. So I go, and it's a leading question, of course. Of course, I'm going to go and say, well, I'd rather have eternal life. So he's like, okay, here, study this. I'm going to study this with you.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You gotta love that book.
Oh my God. It's indoctrination central. Let me tell you what.
Hey man.
You know what? You're right, Excelsior. I should have. But then again, if I would have said that, he would have gone something to the effect of, well, it's only fleeting and you can only do so much with it. Yeah.
That's bullshit. You can totally invest in like bioengineering and like totally the science that will allow you to live forever. I'm just kidding. Oh man.
Excelsior, are you having trouble with volume?
Who's asking that? Somebody having a trouble with the volume?
Excelsior.
Out a little. Oh man, $1 million from Tech Consultant.
Okay. Is everything cool?
Is the stream running okay, guys? Can you hear everything all right? If it gets like really choppy to the point where we need to pause for a little bit and let it catch up to itself. Excelsior says no. That's always a good sign.
So everything's cool.
Oh, volume as in book. Okay. Okay.
Oh,
that's what he's talking about.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, this book.
And out of the truth too long. Whoops.
And let's see. An enemy of everlasting life.
Ooh. Evie wants to know who was the Jehovah's Witness, dad or mom or both? I missed that.
Father. My father was.
Just the
my mother wasn't in.
And you picked living with your freaking Jehovah's Witness dad over the worldly mom, man. If I had a worldly parent, I would have gone like, see you later.
And that deals with the fog, the fear, obligation, and guilt.
Yep.
What?
Do you regret not living with your mother?
Yes, I do. I regret not living with my mom. Oh God, she was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Why you married me?
That makes it suck even more then. That you didn't get to go live with her. Aw.
Yeah.
Whoops, one second.
I will interject. Just looking at his pictures, between the father and the mother, just the expressions on their face that his mother would, I can tell just from the pictures, his mother would have been the better choice. She had
Yeah,
just this birthday picture. She has an open expression, and his dad in all of the pictures looks like he's hiding something.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but like Jehovah's Witnesses, even in their smiling pictures, they never really look happy. They look like strained and stressed and kind of like they're hiding something. Holy crap.
This is what they're hiding. Part of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, the stuff they don't tell you at the carts and at the door. I tell you what. Anyway, go on and continue with your...
All right.
I will say, just for anybody who doesn't know, what exactly was it you just showed?
Oh, God. Okay. This right here is a chart of 607 and 1914.
Yep. Gotta love it. Classic.
The false math.
The false math.
I bet that's gone in the newer version, isn't it? Or wait, there is no newer version of that, is there?
No, this is the newer version.
Oh, that's the newer version. Shit. Okay, then.
No, wait, this is the old. This is the 82. I have a 89.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's.
I have an 89. This is the 82. This is the original.
Yeah. Oh man, so it's got all the juicy stuff in it still.
Right.
You mentioned the $1 million question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when did you start rebelling against what was going on?
Okay, when did I start rebelling about what was going on? I was 12, and I was being a teenager and did what teenagers do. They rebel as far as, hey, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to do my own thing. I know everything, you know.
Yeah.
So within JW limits, I stayed over at a witness friend's house a little too long, and I tested the waters as to what I could and could not do.
You were pushing all your limits to test your parents, basically, which is what teenagers do.
To test my dad, yeah. And he didn't like that very much.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. He needed to know exactly where I was at all times.
So did my grandma. Typical Jehovah's Witness parent.
There's an interesting little story with that too. I had stayed over at a witness friend's child's. I stayed over at a friend's house, and the mother and the father were both baptized, and they had 3 kids. One was 12, one was 13, and one was 17. And the 17-year-old pulled out Killer Instinct. And we sat and we played Killer Instinct for about an hour.
Ooh, I love that game.
Right? This is the old Super Nintendo version.
Oh man, good stuff. I had the N64 one, Killer Instinct Gold, I think it was.
Right. So it was sunset, and he did the whole when the streetlights come on, get home. And the streetlights had been on for at least an hour. So I knew going home that I was going to be in trouble.
Yeah, you were screwed. I fucked up. Oh no.
Yep. So I came in on my bike and pulled the bike in the house. And he asked me, "Where were you?" He had gone looking for me. He had just pulled in.
Wow.
I had missed him. I'd missed getting in the house before he did, so I knew I was screwed. And I explained where I was, and that wasn't good enough for him.
He didn't believe you?
No. Don't ever do that again.
Don't
I
ever do it
need
again.
to know where you are, basically.
Right.
So, and he didn't do it that way, like a parent fucking should. He ended up tipping, actually. I'll show you. There's a picture of.
Evie said, "It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your kids are?"
Right?
She's referencing an old commercial that used to scare parents, basically.
Okay.
The consultant said his mother told him that Mario jumping on turtles was violent.
Right? Same here.
Get that picture. What do you got there?
This right here is a magnaplanar speaker. It's a loudspeaker. It's used for crowds and such. When I came in the door with my bike, he got up, he pulled my hair.
He pulled your hair?
Yep, he pulled my hair and dragged me and the bike into my bedroom.
Holy shit.
And tipped that speaker down. He didn't care.
He kicked it? He just kicked the shit out of it?
He tipped it over. The bike?
Oh, he tipped it over. He tipped it over.
The bike tipped it over. So, he didn't care. Yeah.
Wow. He didn't care that he just destroyed your crap?
No, it's his. It was his.
Oh, it was his crap.
He didn't even care. It wasn't destroyed. It wasn't destroyed. It was just cracked at the base. He put some wood glue on it and it was cool.
Yeah, but that's how pissed off he was, is he didn't even give a crap that he was in there knocking even his own stuff down. Like, fuck everything. Yep. I'm just going to be violent with my kid and toss him around. And,
Yep. And so he dragged me and my bike into the bedroom, and at that point, I don't recall what happened, but I know it was bad.
You blocked it out, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did that a lot too. But I was just touching my head because I was remembering like how it feels to have your hair pulled. I've had my hair pulled a lot too by my family.
And that's why I have long hair now. Why I have long hair now.
Because you can and it's safe.
Yep.
Well, good. I'm glad you're enjoying your long hair, and I'm also jealous of your long beard. I wish I could something to pull on while I'm thinking.
Right.
And yeah, my family, they used to do that to me too, drag me by the hair, and I would get thrown into stuff too, just like that. My story sounds a lot like yours, actually. So, I mean, none of this surprises me, but of course it saddens me because I don't want anybody else going through that kind of stuff. I mean, it was bad enough I went through it. Horrible. And I remember what it feels like to have your hair pulled. That is nasty. Like you can kind of hear it ripping from your scalp a little bit, and like it feels horrible.
No,
like even just that's bad enough, but then they beat your ass afterward too. Like that's not even enough.
Again, this is coming from someone who will willingly, that's, I can't remember. Wait, hold on. Late winter 86, Lake Pyramid, Nevada, about an hour from Sparks. So it says on the back.
Wow.
Yeah, this is coming from a dude who will willingly just go, hey, cool, yada, 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 good childhood. And that's the thing, too. He would do that sort of shit, but then do, good parent shit.
Yeah, so it was kind of hard for you, right?
I was conflicted as to, well, is this wrong? Is this bad? What do I do? How do I go about
As one day he's the asshole, and then the other day he's like, oh my God, he's a nice dad, and we go and do fun stuff together.
And not even the next day.
Literally the same day and shit sometimes, right?
Yep.
Like
Yep.
an hour ago. 15 fucking minutes ago.
Right.
It was the same thing with my family too. Like sometimes they were great and it was like I had a normal family for 5 seconds, and then other
Yep.
times they were fucking horrendous and I couldn't believe the nightmare I was living in.
Yeah.
Let's screw with your head as a kid, because you want to love your parents. You do, because they're the people that take care of you. You especially want to love them when they're, when they're being good to you and everything. And you're like, oh, well, see, I was wrong about them before. Maybe that was just a 1, 2, 3 time thing.
Exactly. And at that point, it happened over and over and over and over again, and it reaffirmed, well, I don't know what to do.
Right. You start wondering if it's you too, like that's causing this, because like it can't be, my parent can't just be an asshole. Like maybe it's me, maybe I'm doing something, or maybe I even wondered if maybe the organization was doing something, like maybe it was their fault. I blame them at some points too. Maybe it's the Jehovah's Witnesses, because my grandma would always say, spare the rod, spoil the child, of course.
Right.
I'm like, well, if she didn't believe in that crap, maybe she would treat me like a normal, kid instead of beating my ass. Like, because my friends, they weren't getting spanked like I mean, they would get like a little, on the ass, like, something like that. And not at my age though. Like as I got older, like my friends weren't getting spanked and I still was getting my ass beaten. So I was like, what the hell?
All right, we have a question from Excelsior. Any twisted logic to when my dad, when they were good and when they were bad, or was it random? It seemed like it was just random.
It does, right?
There was days where I was a good kid and a good kid. I did everything that he asked, and nothing happened that day. There was still that fear, but it didn't seem like, okay, he's going to hit me today.
Right.
I could never really.
It could just come at the drop of a freaking pin. Like at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Like when the next one's going to happen, you just don't know.
I will interject here that between what you've said, what he's explaining, and the comments I'm seeing here, all of this, these are patterns of abuse. Beat and love. Beat, love, beat, love. And it's between you, him, and the comments I'm seeing, this isn't just an isolated incident. This is pretty standard for the witnesses.
Yep.
So there is that, and it's a standard pattern of abuse. It's something that police are trained to look for nowadays.
If I may, it also sounds like the kind of abuse that people in abusive relationships go through.
Oh, yeah. It is.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pattern of abuse that police look for.
And all three of us, me, Nate, my husband, we've all three been in abusive. Sorry.
Yeah, that's why I hate seeing those happy Jehovah's Witness pictures on like my family's Facebook. I mean, because I obviously can't see all their stuff because, whatever, but I go and peek at them every once in a while just to see how they're doing, and they all look super happy, and I'm just sitting there thinking like, are happy, because I never was when I looked like I was happy.
Yeah. Okay.
It makes me feel worse.
I was 13 in this picture. Okay. Now, from this, you see how happy I am, and yada yada, so on and so forth. Cool kid. Or better example, this one here.
You just look like a happy, normal little kid.
All smiles. This
is cutting out or something right now.
Can you hear?
I don't know about them. I mean, they said that the sound is cut out.
Yeah. Test, test.
Yes, let us test. It's in prayer to Jehovah.
Ha!
Chat go, no! That's how we know the sound is back. To get the sound back on the stream. I mean, they haven't said anything in chat, so I'm not sure if the sound is back. Somebody pops in and says, yes, the sound is fine. Yeah.
I'll hold until.
Okay.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, they can hear, and Mia says that the pictures need to be held up longer so there's more time to focus.
Okay, this here. That. I got my ass beat that day.
Are you even looking at the camera? It looks like you're looking at the ground. Like you can't
I am looking at the ground.
Yeah. Man. Even was that before the picture was taken that you got beaten?
Yep.
You're looking at the ground, you're probably still not really completely back yet, and you're just like, you can't even look at the camera. You're just like, ugh.
Yep.
Like still kind of fucked up.
There's
yeah, it
that.
would mess with me for hours, but like my family, it seemed like that they would just instantly be over this crap and expect me to be totally fine afterward.
Compared to the smile on my face here. There is a marked difference.
Yeah. It's like your soul has been crushed in the one where you're 13.
Yeah. My dad is 63, Evie. He's still alive. And my mother's been gone for 16 years. She died in 2001, before the towers fell.
I will interject. Evie, if I ever meet his father, not for long.
That's okay. Wow. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, I ain't trying to kill nobody, but I sure as hell won't be able to keep quiet if I ever meet your dad. I'll be like, what the hell is wrong with you, you sick son of a bitch?
Right?
Amen to that. Oh, he'd be living for a while, but not.
No,
he'd be in a lot of pain.
I cannot condone threatening anyone. I don't want to fight.
Yeah, same here. Let's not threaten to kill people or hit people or anything. But
I don't want to fight. I don't want to deal with this. I want to heal and just.
Is important, definitely.
Yeah, but also
do what you need to do to heal. Definitely.
Also, I need to rehash this. I need to, because other people need to understand, and they need to know, hey, this happens. Period. It is. You can't.
It happens. Yes.
You can't deny it. You can't minimize it. Huh?
Sorry, it was a request from Evie, so I'm just honoring.
No, hug is important. He looked like he needed one badly.
Yep. He has his
But he has such a supportive wife too. That's really great.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
really awesome.
And you're right, Evie. It's my own inner demons, man. It just.
Well, I think she's meaning your dad.
His own memories to torture him in his old age, like that he's going to be thinking about that when he's dying and shit. I actually think about that myself. Like, does my family even think about what they did to me? Like, or do they just pack it away neatly in a little cave in their brain somewhere?
Nigel has a decent question. How was your dad treated as a child? Do you know? Again, I can't trust a word he says.
Yeah.
But his father, from what I recall him speaking about him, yes, there was some sort of form of abuse going on. I don't know what or for how long. He kept silent about him to me. And that in and of itself says, I don't want to speak about it. So he hiding something. He's hiding something. He doesn't want to speak about it. He doesn't want to deal with it. So yeah, maybe.
Short-term memories go old and old memories, no, short-term memories go and old memories surface. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, my long-term memory, man.
Well, that's going to suck for me later then. It's going to suck for us all of us XJWs. We're going to have some hellish old age years. I hope that weed is legal by then.
Right.
It's getting there.
I'm going to need it. I'm going to need it.
Next one.
Trying to think about that shit in my old age. I'll be right back.
Skip one of them from a little bit later, but
okay.
Explain what family headship is.
Okay, family headship. Explain what
God.
family headship is. Okay. In a nutshell, the man has final say. Period.
The man has a period?
No...
What?
I'm
sorry, that's what it sounded like on the stream.
The man has final say in everything. The woman, the wife, they can interject, they can disagree, but taken with a grain of salt, the man can go, nope, fuck you, I'm going to do what I want. And everyone has to obey. The wife, child, everybody under the father, the patriarchal what's the word?
Hierarchy?
The hierarchy, yeah. Everybody under the patriarchal hierarchy in that family has to obey. And that messes with the kid's mind, because you cannot go, well, yeah, but I'm right. And this is why. No, I'm right. You obey me. Period.
Yeah, my dad is actually, he still runs his house like that, even though he's no longer a Jehovah's Witness. He still runs his house like he's the head, and he has the final say. That his wife can give, can give her opinion, but can't really, that's all the power she has. It's like, okay, well, let me say what I think, and then, you make the final decision. I don't like that shit. That's terrible. I think that if you're in a partnership with somebody, you need to, making the decisions, you need to both have some say in shit, because ridiculous. You can end up in some really bad situations like that if one person has power all the time. And then people also resent each other. And then, of course, the children see that inequality, and it screws with them too, of course. Women as being less and all this other shit. Or they think that they can even mistreat their mother. I've seen that happen before. Boy, fuck what my mom says. I can just mistreat her because I'm a dude.
Now, see, I didn't do that. I had enough respect for her because of what was going on with me. I knew that he was a fucking monster. So I respected her enough to go and say, all right, you're okay.
Yeah.
I will trust you because you didn't beat the holy living shit out of me. Now, granted, she didn't know how to parent, but, what parent does? It doesn't come out with a instruction manual. You just kind of do what you feel is necessary and what needs to be done, and teach the child, and help them grow.
Man. Oh, I'm sorry. It looks like we're making somebody's not feel too great from the discussion. Yeah, it's a rough subject. So, if you have to leave and come back and finish this later, or if you don't even want to finish it, totally understand. It's not easy to talk about, but that's why we're talking about it.
It is what it is, Laura. It needs to be spoken about. It needs to. And trust me, I'm having issues.
Yeah. I mean, this stuff affects you in your relationships with other people, in your daily life. It does fuck with you still. Like, you still see little bits of it trickling into your life in areas where you thought over, but no, it's still fucking with me.
It's one of those things that something small, how someone says something to you, or a trigger word, or anything, any gestures, any sort of coming up on behind you or something like that. Oh, there's an interesting little story with that too. I was 18, and I digress. I'm on a tangent for a little bit, so just bear with me.
I don't mind. By all means, go ahead.
I was 18, and I had a girlfriend at the time that was like 30. Yeah. And I was sitting in my father's chair. That was his chair. I took it from him. Screw it. It's mine. I took it from him. And there was one day where I was, just sitting down, chilling, watching TV and listening to music, something. And then she came up behind me, here, my right side. My good eye, I was focusing on over here, so I didn't see what was behind me here. And she put her hand on the back of the chair. And I freaked out, got up, and then fisted real quick. My heart was going a million miles a minute, and I was 18, I had just gotten out of that bullshit. So it was really fresh in my head. I didn't care who the fuck was behind me. It just scared me because I knew that was his chair. He's done that before. That sort of...
You knew that was his chair before you sat in it.
Yeah, that sort of intermittent movement. Yeah, reflex, Evie, you're right. Mm-hmm. Reflex.
Damn.
Woo.
Yeah, yep. We still have those little ghost moments where...
Yeah. And side point with that chair, after that, I ended up... Actually, where is it? I ended up taking this and knifing it.
You knifed the chair?
Yeah.
Sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah. I knifed the chair. I didn't want to deal with that.
It's better than killing actual people.
At that point, I did not want to deal with that memory. Yeah, cool. I took it from him. It's mine to do with what I want with now.
Right.
So I didn't want
you took some power back.
Yep. I didn't want that physical memory. So screw it. I'm going to destroy it. But anyway.
That's great. I'm glad you did that. I bet that was very therapeutic to take some power back.
Oh yeah, man. I had fun with it. I had fun with it. A buddy of mine helped me destroy it too, so it was kind of a
very bonding kind of thing.
Yeah. I think he took a hammer to it, or a sledgehammer or something. It was in pieces.
You should have recorded it and put it to that same song from Office Space where they're destroying the printer.
Ha! Actually, there was if I remember correctly, I was playing Linkin Park at the time.
Sorry about that.
I was playing Crawling by Linkin Park when I was destroying the said chair.
what song by Linkin Park?
Crawling.
Oh, Crawling is a great song. Yeah, actually, I told you Chester is named after Chester Bennington, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
R.I.P. man. R.I.P.
Yeah, rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. And to all the people that talk crap about him, even though he had 6 kids, like, man, until you're in that headspace. Because that's oh man, I don't even like saying anything. I couldn't say anything about it except that, man, because I wasn't there. I wasn't in his head. Anyway, continue on with your, so to speak.
How did the abuse start?
Okay. How it started? It was subtle. There was one summer where, no, actually, let me back up with that. That's an interesting little. He started to discipline me like any other father would, by taking stuff away, and there was a particular instance where I didn't clean my room, and he took my TV away. He took stuff away from me, and said, "Hey, you have to earn it back, and earn it back by doing what I say." And I earned it back, and it was a normal-ish childhood from that on. But then it didn't work, and I remember the day that it turned south. He said to me, "Well, nothing else works. So what am I supposed to do?"
Nothing else works.
Nothing else works. And this speaks to my rebellion. Nothing else works. So what am I supposed to do? And this was after he struck me with something. I don't know exactly what it was. I can't remember if it was his fist. And he said, oh, that's another thing. After everything had gone and I was an adult and this, that, and the other, and he said that he never closed fist punched me.
And that's a flat out lie, isn't it?
That is a flat out lie, and I'll get to that later. But that was his mindset. I have nothing else that works, so I'm going to beat you into submission. That's how it started. And even then, I was still rebellious at that point, because I was going to do me. I didn't care.
It's all right, man. Take your time.
Yep.
Okay. I will ask a question, and I will apologize to everybody that this brings bad memories to, because I know it is liable to happen. How often did you hear the words, "You brought this on yourself"?
Actually, let me think. Those specific words or a variation of them?
A variation of it. The whole, "It's your fault I'm doing this." And again, I apologize to everybody that brings that brings bad memories to.
Within the 3-year period, 4-year period, that was absolute total hell. one instance sticks in my mind real well. He wouldn't blatantly say that outright. It was, look at what you did.
Mm. Did he ever say something like, why did you make me do this?
Look at what you caused me to do.
Right.
Something along those lines. And it was psychologically damning. Because here I have this father who's supposed to be a father, and he's just not. But he is.
Did he ever say to me a lot, I'm doing this because I love you?
Oh, I got one better for you. Almost every single time that he would kick my ass afterwards, he would go, hey, come here, I'm gonna give here, come. Oh.
It's okay. It's all right. Take your time, man. It's all good. I know it wants to just vomit out of you. I know, man. That's how I get when I tell stories too. People think that I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm like, you can't stay on with one subject. I ramble because of that.
Come here, give me a hug. I love you always and forever, no matter what.
There's almost like a slight ring of obligation in there, like you also have to love me no matter what.
Yep. And the messed up thing
you
is,
have to.
I created that. I came up to him one day and I'm like, I love you always and forever, no matter what. And he stuck with that. And he twisted it and used it to his advantage.
That's manipulative as hell.
Now looking at it from an adult brain, he twisted it and used it to his advantage to where, oh, okay, this is how I'm going to control the situation. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can beat him with whatever I want. But I love you always and forever, no matter what. And that speaks to this. Whew.
You know, I flat out once told my grandma, I don't want to go to paradise. Paradise sounds boring.
Oh, wow.
And she was like, well, then there's no hope for you. I'm like, well, okay, then. Guess I'm gonna die. Really, paradise seemed a lot less appealing than death, to be honest. And that's some dark shit that Jehovah's Witness kids grow up with. It's like sometimes death actually seems better.
Yeah. There was. Okay, I will go into. There was a 3-month period where, and I can't remember what I did to deserve this. For the life of me, it must have been something terrible. And the thing is, terrible to me would be, cool, you're a kid, just deal with it to other people. There was a 3-month period where I was grounded and I had a chair and the brown Jehovah's Witness Bible, the 1984, 85-ish version. And that's all I had. That's all I had in my room. All I had in my room for 3 months.
Over the summer.
A Bible and a chair.
Wow. Not just any Bible, but the special turd of a Jehovah's Witness Bible.
Yep. And that's all I was allowed to read. So.
Weird and gross.
So I read. Because what else am I supposed to do? I ended up grabbing a dictionary too, and I would read the dictionary over the Bible.
Oh man, that says a lot right there, doesn't it?
Yep.
I was the same way. I would read the dictionary too. I'd rather read that.
You get more information out of it anyway.
It's true. You learn a lot more. You even learn how to understand some of the crap that's in the Bible. Oh,
right?
Checking out the chat.
Yeah, I'm keeping up with it. Hold on, I got coffee is real. Give me a second.
All right. While he's over there getting coffee, I'll check out the chat and see what you guys have been saying here. Oh, incest came up already. That's not a shock.
I will interject from what I've seen of the commentary on that.
Sure.
Just
go for it.
Just because it's not verified, because there's no evidence, doesn't mean it's not happening.
Right.
All too often, incest and abuse people are ashamed, so they're not going to talk about it. So unless there's an investigation like the ARC, it's not likely to come up. So just because there's no evidence of it doesn't mean it's not occurring.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember if this was in the same day or the same year, but the worst beating he ever gave me in my entire life was, I believe, before that 3 months. This is going to take a second. I don't know what I didn't know what I did. I don't know what I didn't do. I think it might have been I didn't clean the house correctly as he would have. I don't even know. But we had a wall heater that was like 5'4" and rectangular. And he said to me, "Assume the position." And
to get your ass beat.
Yeah. Wow. The position was hands on the wall.
Right, with your ass out.
Yep.
Mine too.
Yep.
And man.
He took a wooden broomstick and over and over and over again until it broke on my back. You see what you did?
Holy shit! He fucking broke a broomstick on your back and blamed you for breaking the broomstick.
Yep.
Wow, he probably would have gotten pissed at you for bleeding on the damn floor too. Like, you fucking bled on the floor. Clean that shit up. I can't believe you did that.
After he did that, after he'd broken it, it's splintered. It's splintered. He pulled my hair into the kitchen.
More fucking hair pulling. This asshole.
He pulled my hair into the kitchen. He dropped me down, and I protected my head. And he proceeded to kick my back.
He kicked you in the back but CP?
Yes, I do.
And he's fucking kicking you in the back? Is he insane?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Oh my God. Like, even a normal, like a regular fucking kid, it's bad to be kicking them in the back, a healthy, normal fucking child. But then like somebody with CP, oh my God. Yeah. I cannot believe that asshole. Oh my God. That makes me really fucking pissed off.
And then he dragged me into it was a 1-bedroom apartment. This apartment. If I could burn this building, I would. He grabbed my hair again and pulled me into the bedroom. since, again, he wasn't getting a good enough.
Questions in the
Okay, Excelsior, cerebral palsy. It's if you've ever seen a child in a wheelchair with their arm like this, it's a neuromuscular disorder that affects your motor skills, your speech, your eyesight, your walking. It messes with your internal nervous system. I shouldn't be alive.
And this motherfucker's beating you, like kicking you in the fucking back. His own damn child, on top of everything else.
Yep.
And he's fucking kicking him in the fucking back like an asshole, like a piece of scum.
That's not even the worst part of it. While in the kitchen, before he drags me into the bedroom, he takes a stainless steel saucepan, little tiny thing, about yay big. It's a saucepan. He picks me up, again by the hair, and he cracks my head with it. Not cracks my head, crack open, yada yada yada, bleed off all the floor, but
holy shit!
My skull left a dent in the bottom of that saucepan.
Wow. That is fucking horrible.
No spinal damage. No spinal damage, Excelsior. They did a spinal tap on me when I was a child, and my spinal fluid was pink. I don't know exactly what and where, and it's one of those things that I cannot speak to, so I won't. Now, all I saw once was the medical report, and yeah, that's it. That's all there is to that.
Was a legit fucking monster.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry you had to grow up with that horrible human being who has no idea of how to fucking treat other human beings, not even his own child. You would think that at the very least someone's going to have that natural instinct to protect their child and not want to bring harm to them.
Hold on now. There's, again, and this speaks to his decency. Okay? This is me in, I believe, New Mexico. And now we took a trip.
Pretty.
Yeah, we took a trip, and I was fishing. No, wait. No, it was Colorado. It was Colorado camping.
Woohoo. That sounds awesome. That sounds like a great time.
It really, really wasn't.
Oh shit!
It speaks to it speaks to my cerebral palsy, because I was above 10,000 feet, and the air pressure above 10,000 feet makes my brain swell.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so there was a night where I had the worst headache I have ever had, and this is prior to the saucepan, prior to everything going terrible. It just, my head felt like it was going to explode.
Right. From the swelling inside.
Yep. And I didn't know what was going on. I thought I ate some bad pizza or something. You know? That's what cerebral palsy does. It's a brain swell.
Right. God damn.
But anywho, back to the worst day I ever gotten beat. He picks me up off the floor, hits me with the saucepan, drags me into the bedroom, and I again assume the position on the bed this time. Okay?
Great.
And he takes a curtain rod thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Like a stress ball?
No, blinds. to open
Oh,
and
the
close
little
blinds.
stick to turn the blinds. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I know what
Yep.
you're talking about.
Yep. He took that.
That.
Yep.
Holy shit.
The
Those things hurt. I've been hit with one of those before. I know those fuckers hurt.
Yep.
Also been hit with a car antenna too. Those hurt like a motherfucker.
That whip.
Yeah, it fucking hurts.
Yeah.
I am so sorry this shit happened to you. Like, the more you tell me, the more I feel like, holy crap, what an asshole. Oh my God.
He cracked me with that a couple of times. That broke.
He broke the fucking plastic thing. Those are hard to break.
Yep.
Wow.
He ended up giving me a bloody nose that day, and I figured, you know, it was he's right hand right here, right there, and you know, bloody nose.
He hit you in the fucking face with that shit?
No, his fist.
Oh.
Right here.
Oh.
Right here.
Still, fucking fist is like horrible too.
He gave me a bloody nose. He gave me a bloody nose. And I didn't think anything of it. I just figured, you know, hold and tip up and this, that, and the other. But
you didn't even like stop to think about how the fuck your dad just fucking clocked you, and you're just like, I'm just gonna try to stop the bleeding now. That was your first thought. It was so normal to you that you're just like, eh.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And it didn't occur to me that he could have broken my nose. And my skull hurt from here up. So now looking at it, I used to be able to balance a spoon on my nose right here. I can't do that anymore.
Because he fucked it up.
Dude gave me a deviated septum. I snore now.
Oh my God. I didn't know you could give somebody a deviated septum.
And that's
people were born with.
That's just conjecture.
Broken nose.
I don't know if it happened that way, but if I ever pop a blood vessel here, this side will bleed more than this side will.
So he probably did. He probably did give you a deviated septum then.
Really?
Holy shit! Have you ever this is probably going to come up later, so tell me if it is going to come up later. But have you ever confronted him about this shit, or is that something that's going to come up later in your questions?
Actually, yeah, that'll come up later. That'll come up later.
We'll wait on that.
So after he broke the curtain rod thing, plastic thing, he grabbed a metal hanger.
Oh, ugh. Got those too.
And yeah, again, assume the position, and then he got tired. Like, screw it, you're not going to listen anyway, and just gave up. And I couldn't sit for a week. You know what color? You know what color a bruise turns after it turns black and blue?
Yellow?
Brown.
Oh, well, mine's probably in the brown stage right now.
Yeah, that's what that is what my ass looked like.
Really? Like this?
Pretty much.
That must have hurt then too, because this is extremely painful. I have to take pain medicine for this right now. Because I can't move my arm if I'm not on pain medicine. It fucking hurts.
At that point, it was just, well, deal with it.
And you had to sit like that too, and probably through meetings and all kinds of other stupid shit. Like, just with your ass hurting and on fire, and you couldn't tell anybody either, because what are you gonna say? My dad disciplined me.
Again, I'll correct you with that. It was over summer break.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't during school. So that's good.
There was no school. There was no. Yeah.
That's good. Well, at least you weren't sitting on your ass in school, like,
good, because I had nobody to tell. But you know, it's one of those things that, screw it. it is what it is. It happened. Deal with it.
Oops. There we go. Freaking. Oh, Evie says she would make her dad chase her, and just like let him bend her ass over and beat her.
Yeah,
It would make him chase her.
Amy, I knew that if I ran, I'd get it worse.
That's true. I would. Yeah, that's the same thing happened to me actually. I was just about to tell her, but I guess I'll just say it in here. That I started to run like from the spankings in my teens, and then I realized I realized that my grandma would just send my uncles after me to kick my ass even worse. And I'd much rather take an ass whooping from my grandmother than my uncles, because my uncles choke and they throw me in the walls and they throw me down the stairs and shit. Like they don't do like a normal run of the mill ass whooping. They do freaking Mexican mafia style ass whoopings.
He never did choke me. He never did choke me. I will give him that.
Yeah, well, I mean, my uncles are not the nicest dudes. Actually, one of them told me he was Mexican mafia. I don't even know if that's true, but he says he was. He says he even saw a guy burned to death right in front of him in somebody's backyard. So like these dudes are tough. Like my uncles are tough motherfuckers. They were raised with some really bad people, and like they've been like doing and selling drugs their whole life. I'm not talking about like pot. Pot is nothing. I'm talking about like real shit. I mean, like getting an ass whooping from them, I'd much rather get an ass whooping from my grandma.
Yeah. And I will say this, and I remember this when I was 7 years old. Again, I go back and forth, but there was one time where my mother decided to whap me one, and I deserved it too. I did deserve it. She was a personal trainer. She was a personal trainer. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Sorry, I only shut my sound off.
Uh-oh. And no picture.
Second, because my dog, I hope we didn't lose him. That would be unfortunate. Right in the middle of his story. Oh, there he is. You're back.
Okay, there. Okay.
I was afraid we lost you for a second.
I could hear you.
Okay, good.
But
good.
She had protein powder, and I was 8 years old or some shit, and I don't know why I did this. And looking back at it, that stuff is expensive. I guess I figured it'd make the carpet smell good, so I dumped her protein powder on the carpet and started vacuuming it up.
You thought it was like carpet refresher?
Yep.
That's hilarious. My grandma actually punished me because I used carpet refresher on our carpet once. She was like, "Don't do that, it'll clog the vacuum." And she like got super pissed at me, and I'm like, "Well, we have it. Why do we even have carpet refresher if you don't want me to fucking use it?" Like,
hey,
what the hell?
You guys are trying to clean.
So I ended up vacuuming it up, and I didn't put the cap back on the protein powder. So when she went back to get a protein shake, she's like, "Wait, where's all my protein powder?"
Oh.
Yep. And she immediately knew what happened because she could smell it. And she whacked me once with her hand, and
But just on the ass, right?
Yeah, and I deserved it. And I respected her enough to go, "Well, fuck, don't do that again." It was more of a respect me thing, and not don't fear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like, hey,
so
stop being a little ass. Stop screwing up.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but not like I'm gonna beat the fear into your ass, and you're gonna be terrified of me for the rest of your fucking life and have nightmares and shit, like that kind of shit.
No, not at all.
You could tell, like, it was the appropriate level of discipline, right?
Yeah, Yeah, I deserved it. I knew I deserved it, and it. Well, fuck. Okay, I won't do that again. And it wasn't, oh, well, no, I got caught. I shouldn't have done this, and yada, yada, so on and so forth. It was just, shit, don't do it.
But that was
anyway.
completely different. That was completely different from the way your dad handled things, of course.
Yes. Yes.
Recognize that even then, as a kid, you probably realized there was a huge difference.
Yep. Yep. But anyway,
Okay.
next one.
Alrighty.
Just to clarify you, how old were you when the abuse started again?
I was 12 when the abuse started.
So why didn't you speak up?
Again, family headship. He taught fear. I had no one to turn to. I couldn't go to my teachers because they belong to Satan. The organization is the only people that are good in the world.
That's what they tell you.
Because they're the only people that are good in the world, and he being a baptized witness, I had to respect his authority. I had to respect the fear. And again, he outright said, let me get the wording of this correctly because I don't want to quote him wrong. Nothing else has worked, so I will teach you with fear.
Wow.
Yep.
I will teach you with fear.
Nothing else
Kid
has
wants to hear
worked.
out of their dad.
Nothing else has worked. I will teach you with fear.
And that didn't end up working either anyway, so.
No.
I'm sure that didn't stop him.
No. That speaks to the blatancy of the headship thing. You will do as I say. So I was alone. What?
Nigel had a question for you.
Oh.
Is your dad an elder?
No, he is not an elder.
Yeah, his dad's not an elder. Or get very far in the organization? Like, what was the farthest he made it? MS?
Yeah, MS. Ministerial servant. I would go to the meetings more than he would. And I was grateful for them because it was a 2.5-hour break from hell. That was my safe spot.
Right.
And there was one day where I had particularly gotten my ass beat, and I befriended a unbaptized publisher. And
befriended an elder, you said?
Huh?
You said you befriended an elder?
Before that.
Oh.
I befriended an unbaptized
I couldn't hear because it cut out. Sorry.
I befriended an unbaptized publisher. And okay. I went and I told him as we were driving from meeting to home, hey, look, this is what happened to me. What do I do? And he goes, well, talk to an elder about it. I can't do anything about it. Talk to an elder about it. So I talked to an elder about it. And he didn't even pull me in the back. He didn't even do anything that, elders do. He's like, well, you're a minor. We don't want to, I don't want to get involved with it because you're a minor. He didn't even say, I'm sorry. Just, nope, nothing. And at that point, I knew I needed to get out. myself. I was alone. I did not have decent family. I didn't have, it was isolation at its worst. I
Doesn't
did
that
not
always
have,
kill you? Like when somebody says that they don't want to get involved and that's why they don't want to fucking help you. Rushing.
oh, it was. It was.
I've heard that a few times in my life. So that's why, like, every single time it just, it like ate away another little piece of my faith in humanity. Like, you're not going to help me because you just don't want to get involved. That's it. I guess I can go die then. Whatever. It's all good then.
So I did try to do something, but within the organization there was no recourse, nothing. So I was alone. So I knew that I had to get out by myself, and I had to be patient and wait,
Right.
and just deal with the abuse.
That's a situation a lot of us end up in, is that we realize no other recourse, no other way out, and we just have to fucking wait it out. You know, hope that we don't get too screwed up in the process, or hope that we don't end up getting killed in the process, things like that. Get out okay.
Oh,
and then we can start our life.
Another thing that happened with the saucepan and the wire hanger and all that, he took a 72-ounce ketchup bottle, the big one, and cracked it on my collarbone.
Jesus.
I have a bump on my collarbone from where it broke, and that thing was heavy. It was full, hard plastic, and I broke the damn thing.
My God.
There was another time I was 15, and this speaks again to me trying to get help. I don't know who he talked to get to this point and figure out that. Okay, he woke me up one day at 2 a.m. and he said, "Get up." And at this point, I'm like, "Oh fuck, what did I do?" Now, because I'm sleeping, I had been good. There was nothing really, particularly upsetting that I had done that day. So, what happened? So he asked me, "Who did you tell?" Wait, not that. I narked on him.
Oh.
I knew he was smoking weed, and I narked on him. So, me getting up at 2 in the goddamn morning, still sleepy, I had to immediately wake myself up and think quickly as to how I was going to answer that. So I said the unbaptized publisher that I was, that I had befriended.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't good enough because apparently that wasn't the person that he talked to.
That just made it worse, I bet.
Yep. I gave up another source. There was a worldly childhood friend of his that I had talked to as well about this. And again, I can only do this under assumption, but I think that was the person that told him, "Hey, look, you're doing this to your kid. Why?" So he came up to me and was like, "Oh, who did you tell?" Yada, yada, so on and so forth. And I gave up the ministerial servant. And he goes, "Who else did you tell?" And nobody. I can't remember. And he goes, "Well, tell whoever you told that you were lying."
Tell whoever you told what?
That you were lying.
Oh, that you were lying. What?
Uh-huh.
He's asking you to lie.
Yep.
The truth into your ass this whole time. Now he's telling you to lie.
Yep.
Jehovah's Witness, narcissist,
Uh-huh.
parent, motherfucker.
Right. Okay. So the aftermath of the brown ass. At that point, I had had enough. So I screamed my bloody head off. I literally screamed as loud as I could. And there was a judge's daughter that was our neighbor. And she either called the cops or questioned him or something. All I know is when I got out of the bathroom after cleaning myself up and his bloody nose, I took a shower, and he opened the bathroom door, and I barely had enough time to get a towel around myself, by the way. He opened the bathroom door and said, just blatantly, "Tell them I hit you with my hand." And I'm thinking, oh, who's them? And I walked out after getting dressed. I walked out, and there was 2 cops in the door in the apartment.
Oh shit! And you're standing there naked?
Yep. No. At that point, I had, gotten a shirt on, gotten pants on, and
Oh,
he's like,
okay.
get dressed, and yeah, no.
Weird.
No. And the cops go and ask me, "Hey, lift your shirt." Now, thinking of it again with an adult mind, I should have taken my shirt off because there was bruising on my back that wasn't seen. So I lifted up my shirt, and cop took a look at me, and it's like, "Oh, hey, what did he hit you with, son?" "Oh, his hand." "Oh, okay," and they left. At that point,
Oh, they asked you what he was hitting you with?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, it cut out,
And,
so I was just rephrasing it so people could know what you said.
Yep.
Yeah.
And at that point, after I said that, cop left. That told me not to trust cops either. So at this point, you can't trust the organization because the elders won't help you. You can't trust the cops because they won't help you. You can't trust anyone in the world because they won't help you. He'll find out about that.
So you're alone.
Yep. Period.
Yep.
I had me.
Yeah, I felt the same way about the cops too. I thought after I had tried to tell the cops before, even counselors at school a couple of times about stuff that had happened, and they always believed my family. It was so weird. Like they always just took them at their word and like, okay, well, tell your kid to stop making shit up then.
Right.
Like, okay then. I guess my word doesn't mean shit around here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and it sucks like that. I mean, people didn't believe kids back then a lot. I think they do more now.
Oh yeah.
But back then, yeah. No, it was always stop lying about your mom and all that.
There was another little thing too. I had a little tiny Palm radio that a brother gave to me or something. I don't know how I got a hold of it, but at night I would listen to Coast to Coast. If you've ever heard of that program, Art Bell's Coast to Coast.
Oh, yeah. Art Bell's Coast to Coast. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I would listen to that at night, and there was one day, and I'd stuff it under my bed when I was done with it, and he had found it one day, and he's like, "What's this?" And he took it from me. I wasn't allowed to have that for some odd reason. I don't know why. It's just one of those things that, well, okay, I can't have this now. Okay, all right. And I don't know what he did with it.
Why the hell did he take it from you?
I don't know. I don't
That's
know.
so dumb. What do you think you're listening to pornographic sounds on the radio or something?
No, I will say it's an exercise in control. I say what you can have.
That like I can take whatever the hell I want and all this other shit like that. Like I can do whatever I feel like to you.
Yes.
No communication with the outside world, that kind of shit.
And that's just from my experience seeing people who have been abused and seeing the situation, and it's another exercise of control.
Easier for you to be a liar than start a complex case, Amanda. Yes, maybe it was easier for parties to believe my mom. Maybe they didn't want to believe me. Maybe they thought, well, shit, the things she's saying are so horrible. Like Excelsior said, oh, well, we don't want to start a long-ass complicated case on that shit. Or he really, truly did not believe me. And they're like, man, this is one sociopathic little girl who's making shit up about her family, about her nice Jehovah's Witness family. That's what that was.
Muscle memory, man. I'll tell you what.
Yay, muscles. Muscles hurt. Mine hurt too. Probably not like yours though.
Whew, man. It's like a rubber band that's at full extension and you're just whacking at it.
Right.
Let's see, there's another one. Okay, here we go. Another chance I had. I was 16. I had found out Ramundus Martini at 15, so I knew the organization was crap at this point.
You said 15 or 16? Sorry.
When I found out who Ramundus Martini was and the aid book and this, that, and the other, I was 15.
Okay.
So I found out the organization was crap at 15. At 16, my mom came and knocked on my door, and I opened it, and I had, again, just gotten my ass beat that day for whatever reason. Maybe it was just not cleaning the house, and it just... the fear was real. He taught me fear. And she asked me, hey, do you want to come with me? And I shut the door in her face.
Do you know why you did that? Do you remember why?
Yeah. I didn't want her to get hit. He was still enraged, and I was in fear for her.
You thought he would hit her for taking you with her?
Something like that, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And at that point, I expected absolutely, totally terrible things from him.
Just violence.
Yeah.
Nasty words, everything.
Yeah. And so in my head, I was just trying to protect her. So
by being cold and shutting her off, just like.
Yep. And he opens the door and he talks to her and basically says something to the effect of, you see that he doesn't want anything to do with you? And he used that. He used that. I know he did. I wasn't there, but I know that's what he did.
Man, I bet that probably hurt your mom, but hopefully she tried to understand later on for herself, like what was really going on, so she, wasn't too affected by it, I guess. I mean, because
it did at the time.
Yeah.
Hurt her, but later on, after I'd gotten out, I sat down and had a 3-hour-long conversation with her. And
so you got to clear it up.
That came up and we cleared it up, and yeah.
That's good. I'm so glad, because I can only imagine how you would have felt like if she had passed on and you didn't get to explain that to her. And
oh yeah. That bugged me until I saw her again.
Well, I'm glad you got to discuss that with her, because
Yeah.
that would be eating at you too right now, among other things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you pretty much already covered most of the next few questions, so I'm going to go to where next.
Okay.
Pretty much you said this went on for about 4 years.
Yep.
Back to the control. You mentioned him saying, "You will always live with me," to me. You mentioned that.
Oh, okay. There was another time where he wasn't physically abusive this time. Okay. But he sat me down and we were eating a pot roast or some shit. And I don't know how this got brought up. All I know is this specific part of it. He explained, not explained. Oh man, let me see that. Control. Okay. Okay. He posed the statement to me. You know that you will always live with me, and no girl will ever want you.
That is such a nasty, like, narcissistic, controlling thing to say to anybody, but especially like a kid.
The reason he said no girl will want you is because and this is, it is what it is. Cerebral palsy, this happens. My bowels were not what they should be. And he literally scared the shit out of me. Okay?
Yeah.
So, there's that. That's why, no girl will ever want you, and you'll always live with me, and yada, yada, so on and so forth. I'm going to take care of you for the rest of your life. Oh, yeah, I'm going to take care of you the rest of your life.
Like, take care of, or just kidding.
The double meaning, you get that. That might have been the case.
Yeah, I'm going to take care of your ass.
No.
He could have meant that, but I'm sure that, like, if you were still living with him now, he would still be abusive to you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
In some way. Like, he probably wouldn't be able to beat your ass anymore, but he would still probably find some ways to be abusive with you. And
verbally, mentally, and controlling, and this, that, and the other. And
so he said that that he was going to take care of you forever, and that you were never going to be wanted by anybody, and that you were going to be with him basically forever, right?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a scary thought.
Yeah, tell me about it.
You also mentioned...
My grandma said I had to take care of her when I got older too, and I was like, hell no. I'm sorry, woman, I'll put you in a home first. But only because she's kind of like, because she was so mean to me and treated me in such an awful way as a child. If she had been like a nice, like, loving parent that never abused me or anything, then of course I wouldn't have a problem with, taking her in as an adult and, helping to care for her in her later years.
Oh,
it actually bothers me that I'm not in her life now, because she could just die any day and I wouldn't know.
Also, as to the bowel control, after I had left, that week, it cleared up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I had gotten to the point to where I was calm enough to where the muscles in my sphincter worked correctly.
Wow. So it was a stress-related illness then?
Yeah.
A condition that you got from stress?
Yeah. And the thing is, he pawned it off as, and this is in conversations with him recently, that, oh, you had a brain tumor, aneurysm, whatever, something's wrong with your head, and it fixed itself when you were 18. Well, no, motherfucker. No. How do you know that? Are you a doctor? All I know is it stopped when I left.
Right.
So, what can I equate that with?
Right. Gee, I wonder what the correlation is there,
Right?
if any. Man.
Another one. He would every once in a while give me his ATM card and have him get groceries with it and this, that, and the other. And I would pull out $10 or $20 or what have you and just keep it. And there was actually visual aid.
Black Sheep's dad is not an elder, Nigel.
No,
Sorry,
he's
we
not.
answered that earlier. We answered that earlier, but I don't know if you heard it. But yeah, he's not an elder. He never was, and is not currently either.
These.
Ooh, Pokemon! Hell yeah!
This deck specifically, he found this, and I was wearing a white shirt. I had it under here, so the corner poked out, right? And I wasn't supposed to have. This was his money that I bought these with.
Oh,
Yeah.
Whoops.
It poked out, and he's like, "Wait, what's that?" And
My demon card collection.
yeah. Oh, you're not supposed to have these. Throw them away.
Throw them away? Yeah.
And obviously, I didn't.
Yeah, good.
But that just again speaks to the control. You can have what I say.
Yeah, basically.
Hi,
Vince.
Yep.
Sorry.
Hi. He didn't beat my ass that day for lying to him and taking money and this, that, and the other. He didn't. But at that point, it was, I knew I fucked up and he didn't have to. Fear. I knew I fucked up and he didn't have to beat my ass that day. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, so your dad left the organization?
Oh man, that's a story too.
Is that a come up at later kind of thing?
No. I can deal with that too. Okay. Recently, he tried to get me to go into the family business, and I don't even believe he's got lasers, LED lasers that he uses in shows, and he knows people that are friends with Ozzy Osbourne and Robert Plant's granddaughter.
Right?
Huh?
Like a lighting dude, he does lighting and special effects, that kind of shit.
Yep.
For like concerts and stuff.
Yeah. And he got on Skype one day, and I asked him this. I asked him, is Jesus your mediator? Okay. And I can thank Bridget for this, because wording it that way, I would have never thought. But I asked him, is Jesus your mediator? And he goes and he confirms, and he goes, well, yes, he is my mediator. And then I go, well, then that would make you part of the 144,000, right? He's like, no, I'm going to live on the earth. And I knew that's what he would answer.
Yep.
So, and then I go, well, if Jesus is your mediator, then you are part of the 144,000, says Watchtower Doctrine. Is that true? Well,
right.
No. So I think that kind of woke him up. I did him a service. I woke his ass up.
That's very nice of you. That's nice of you, considering that he whooped your ass your whole life.
Yeah.
And like, he's the reason that you had to be involved in that shit in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
You still were nice enough to try to go back and wake his ass up. That's kind of you. And I don't know, some people wouldn't even do that for their families. Some ex-Jehovah's Witnesses just don't want anything to do with their families after what they've been through. And I don't blame them. So like people that are out there that you don't talk to your family, like I understand why you don't want anything to do with them. And I have no issue with you and the way you choose to do things. I respect that. Me, myself, I do want to save my family. I just don't know if that there is any actual hope for that, because I mean, they're so in. It's just not going to happen, I don't think. But I want them to.
The reason I believe it woke him up was there was a conversation that I had with him that he asked me, is there any ex-witnesses that you know that meet up? Or just that statement alone, that tells me that, yeah, okay, he's going to associate with ex-witnesses.
Right, he's ready to get out.
So, if you ever see someone that looks like this, be wary.
Yeah. Because he's a mean ass. Oh my God. He's mean and he's two-faced apparently, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And you just can't trust his ass. Such a shame. Children are such a gift, so it pisses me off, and it's a shame knowing that I have friends out there that cannot have children, and that would be like, they're desperate. They would love to have a child of their own. And there are people like your father, and of course my family as well, who treat children like crap, like little objects, like little, even less than animals, like just nothing.
Yeah.
Like, who would beat their own flesh and blood? Somebody that they protected in their womb. Well, I mean, not your dad didn't protect you in your womb, but in his womb, but
yeah,
in my mom's or grandmother's case, protected their child in their womb for months, and still are able to do that kind of shit.
I don't have the pictures of my childbirth. Now, the baby book. I don't have those pictures. But and again, I cannot say this. I cannot confirm nor deny this. So I'm just going to state it as what he told me, and do with what you will with it. Okay. He told me that when I was blue and the doctors put me on the weighing scale like I was dead and so on and so forth, because the swelling was just enormous. It was about that size on my head. He said to me, well, I'm the reason you're alive. I breathed life into you. I called your name and you started to breathe.
Oh, so he's Jehovah now. That's great.
Right?
All right, then. I breathed life into you. I'm God. He must have like a real complex about being like better than everybody. He must think he is, or something, or just think that he's awesome. Or think that he should be anyway.
He will deny that and call himself humble.
My ass, he's humble. I breathe life into you. Who does that sound like he's trying to be? Come on.
Yeah, I know. I saw it for what it was. Huh, baby whisperer.
Yeah, right. The baby whisperer. Yeah, I call bullshit too, Excelsior. I don't think that he's the reason that Black Sheep is with us today, but I am glad that Black Sheep is here.
So am I.
Despite the fact that he had to go through all kinds of shit to get here, I'm glad that he's still with us, and that he's able to, somehow able to share this with us without fucking breaking down, because I would probably be breaking down right now if this were me sharing this. It
is what it is, and I have moved past it.
You kind of numb yourself to shit after a while, right? Like you just...
No, it's not even a numb thing. I've dealt with it. I understand what it is. It is not my life anymore. But it needs to be spoken about.
Yeah,
because there may or may not be someone who is in right now that will see this or something, and go, okay, wow, this sounds really familiar. I need to get out. And quickly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm only slightly numb, but that's how I'm able to talk about it and even chuckle about certain parts of my stories. Is because I've had to just get a little bit numb to it so that it doesn't cause me to break down every freaking time I mention it, because I know there was definitely a time when that used to happen, when just mentioning my past a little bit would make me break out in tears and stuff. I have to get into it a little deeper in order to get that kind of reaction now, but it still happens. And I mean, I'm at least mostly numb to it on kind of a day-to-day basis. I try to not think about it and try not to let it fuck with me, but of course it still does,
Oh, also,
anyway, go on.
Also about bees. When he caught me, and I remember this distinctly, he went and I tried to lie my way out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, oh, fuck. But it was so obvious to him. He stated, oh, what a tangled web we weave.
When first we practice to deceive. Yeah.
Right? So at that point, I knew I was screwed. But yeah, that's just another little side point of, again, mental
side stories are
manipulation.
helpful. They flesh out the whole situation a lot more, so you can really get a full picture.
Yeah. All right, next one. Go ahead.
Back to the control for a moment.
All right.
You also mentioned a couple of things you were not allowed to do. The job and the driving.
Oh, okay. Another little story. At 16, I went to the childhood friend of his, and said, hey, can I be a bag boy for the grocery store?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, go ahead and fill out an application and this, that, and the other. But I knew that I needed to get his approval first. So I went to him and I went, hey, can I get a job? And he's like, no, you don't need a job. And that was that.
I was told the same thing.
You know why?
Senior year of high school.
You know why? I can tell you. Job equals money. Money equals power. Power equals get the fuck out.
Right. Freedom. Yep. That's why my grandmother didn't want me getting a job either.
Yep. And
but
also,
she said it was just because she wanted me to focus on school and also my studies with the witnesses. She's like, I want you to focus on that. So that's why I don't want you getting a job.
He didn't even do that.
Yeah.
He was like, nope. No. And then later on went, okay, you want a job? Here. I got a buddy of mine who needs his lawn mowed.
Okay.
He had a friend of his that needed his lawn mowed. And I'm like, okay, fine. Now I'll do that. And this was decent sized lawn. It was the house looked like a goddamn mansion.
Uh-huh.
So I go and I mow the lawn, and he gives me $2.
$2 fucking dollars?
Yeah.
For mowing a lawn? That's manual labor and shit.
I know, right? And
if this was in Iowa, I'm not sure if it was, but if it was, then
no,
damn.
it was in New Mexico.
Oh my God, it was even hotter then. I hope it wasn't during the summer. Oh my God. Well, it had to be. That's when the grass is growing like that.
Yep.
Oh my God, that's terrible. And $2. And so your dad, basically what you're trying to tell us with these stories is that your dad only wanted you to work when he fucking wanted you to work, and what job he wanted you to work, and for the pay that he felt you deserved.
No, not even that. It's you will do as I say at home, clean the house as I do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that. Period.
And you're lucky to get your $2 fucking dollars. No, not even that.
That one time was that was it.
That was the only time you got paid?
Yep, that was it.
$2 though. What the hell did he think you were gonna buy with that? Did he tell you to put it in the contribution box too?
Funny, but no. No. And the thing is, I just ended up putting it in the change jar at home. It didn't even matter.
Oh, did he give it to you in quarters and shit?
No, it was $2 bills.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, let's demean you some more and give it to you in like all pennies and shit.
No, not even that. It was $2, but it reaffirmed the, okay, I'm not gonna work, so why bother?
Right. Right. You're not getting out of the damn house with no $2 anyway.
Yep. And also, driving. I wasn't allowed to drive, and this is
driving is freedom.
Actually, it had to do with, and this is his excuse, and granted, it was valid because the DMV basically told me, no, don't drive, because my eyesight is shit.
Right.
But he could have gone and at least taught me how to operate a vehicle. Operate a 2-ton heavy thing that you don't need.
Right.
Quote, 2-ton heavy thing that you do not need. And there's a story with that too. I was going from Tucson, Arizona. No, from Farmington, New Mexico into Tucson, Arizona. And there's a mountain pass that's a 2-way road that's in the mountain. It's in the mountains, an 18% grade hill. It's twists and turns and just absolutely terrifying. You have a sheer cliff on your left and a sheer cliff on your right. Period. That's it. And he said, okay, drive it. This is a 1982 Ford Thunderbird.
Does that thing even have power steering?
I wouldn't know, but I believe so.
Okay. Well, I mean, if it was really fucking hard to turn, then no, it did not have power steering.
No, it was easy to turn.
Okay, then it probably did, yeah.
It was easy to turn. And good thing too, because I ended up going 90 miles an hour down that road.
Ah, with the freaking cliffs on either side and shit.
I had lost my brakes.
Oh shit.
Yep, I had lost my brakes, and the gravel pits that truckers use to stop their vehicles if they lose their brakes, I ended up finding one of those. And at this point, I'm like, okay, 10 and 2, and just hands here. And since the brakes don't work, don't touch the brakes and don't accelerate. So my feet were just planted on the ground.
Oh my God, that must have been terrifying.
Just steer. Oh God, my heart was going 10,000 miles a minute. So I found this gravel pit, and I went from 90 to 0 within the span of that gravel pit. The bar that kept vehicles from going over the cliff, I was about that far away from tapping it.
Holy shit. Wow, you came pretty close.
Uh-huh. So it completely stopped before it, jolted me forward, and I wouldn't even know what the hell would have happened.
You would have died, probably.
So I got out of the vehicle and shaking like a goddamn leaf. And he says, well, I should have taught you how to drive. And I couldn't. Right. And I couldn't go. Wow. I could not go. Well, yeah, fuck. Look at what this happened. Look at this. Look at this. This
like,
is
no
what happened.
Shit, Sherlock.
That right there. That was my wording up here. No shit, Sherlock. And so I'm like, I didn't say anything. I didn't confirm. I didn't deny. I just stood there and did nothing. I couldn't say anything to him because it was combative. Right. It would have been combative.
Right. Would have pissed him off, started his ass up on something. No matter what you say, too. Anything you would have said. Yes, no, maybe, whatever. Fuck. Any answer is the wrong answer. Any answer is the wrong answer.
Yeah. So I'm just, well, fuck it. So I get back into the vehicle and I drive. And it was an experience because it scared the shit out of me. And not literally, just it scared me. I should know this shit. He should have been a parent and taught me how to drive when I was 16 or 15 or 14. There's people that drive tractors when they're goddamn 8, for fuck's sake.
I know.
You know? So it just, why? And I never really got an, I asked him this. I asked him this recently. Why didn't you teach me how to drive? Why didn't you teach me what you should have and be a parent? And minimalization. Not even, well, I could have, but it's just, well, we can do that now. Talk to me and we'll get anything that we didn't accomplish when you were a child, we can do now. I'm like, no, what? Bitch. No, you fucked up. You had your damn chance. No. This is your bed. You lie in it.
Right? Like, there's no do-over. You can't just do over my childhood. I'm not going to fucking get younger magically and you can just do shit over again and my psyche's going to be unfucked. That's not how that works.
Right?
That is not how that works.
Okay, I'm done with that little anecdote. Go.
Okay. You have mentioned that when your dad hit you with a closed fist, it felt good.
That. Okay, there was one day where he had popped me one right here. And I've got it's not a chip, but it's the way the tooth is. There's it's a snaggle tooth.
Mm-hmm.
There's a part of it that isn't flush. And he popped that. And he bled. I made the fucker bleed. Good, because he's human. That taught me, it showed me that he's human. He's not this invincible goddamn,
like, super being and shit.
Prophet of God, which, by the way, he told my mother that once.
What, that he's a prophet?
Yep.
What the hell is wrong with him? That's like, that's against JWs. You don't say that kind of shit.
I know.
They can get you in trouble.
And again, this was secondhand. She had told me this. But then again, she's not going to lie to me. So I can trust that. She's not going to lie to me. My mother is not going to lie to me.
Right.
So I can trust that that is correct.
Right.
Now, what would she gain by saying that? Nothing that I can think of. So it is what it is.
And you're lucky that you could trust your mom like that, because in my family, since they were all Jehovah's Witnesses and they were all about, I could never trust like anybody. They all shit, and it all came out that at least at one point, every single one of them had lied at some point. So, I mean, it's like, I couldn't just trust in my life to trust, because they were all not trustworthy. And so, yeah, that's a really weird kind of a position to be in as a kid. Like, you just don't, and you can't trust anybody really. So it really does make you feel alone. You had your mom at least that you could kind of put some trust in.
Yeah.
Because you could believe what she said. She didn't have anything to gain, like you said.
Yeah, it is what it is. And I knew that she knew more than I did. She lived the verbal and mental abuse that I didn't see. I don't know if he physically hit her, but reasonable assumption.
You wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah.
Well, it's very likely that he did, and maybe she didn't let you ever see that or know about that because she didn't want it to. I mean, your mom sounds like a really nice lady, so she probably would try to shield you from that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I'm the good guy. Your mother was the bad one. Your mother influenced you. Your mother was the one that was the person that did wrong. I shift blame like you wouldn't believe.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's
my
a narcissist
God.
right there. Shift blame. Put it on somebody else.
And even to the point of he was trying to get me, and this is recent, he was trying to get me to think that she made me the person that I am. No, bitch, I am what you made me. You made me into this monster. Fuck you. Deal with it.
Right.
But you can't argue the fact that you do have that sensitive side that your mom has.
I am rather sensitive. I can be a nice dude. But you really got to work for me to get that pissed off at you.
Yeah.
You got to earn my disrespect.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of shit that I'll let slide before I'm like, okay, you know what, motherfucker? You.
Oh, another side note. This is my mother's favorite cup.
Oh.
The one that I always drink
awesome.
coffee out of.
I'm surprised your dad didn't like snatch all her stuff and like destroy it or something just to hurt your feelings.
No, that 3-hour-long conversation basically went like, okay, look, let's compare stories, and what are we going to do about it? Do we want to get him out of the house? How are we going to do it? And I explained how I felt. She confirmed and denied, or not denied, but
she just basically confirmed what happened and then like said she didn't know about other stuff, I guess.
Yeah. And then I posed the question to her, okay, how do we get rid of him? Is there anywhere that you know that we can stay with? And she's like, yeah, I've got this friend of mine. Let me call her up. And we stayed there for 3 days. Just so we knew that he was gone. And just to chill and not have to worry about him.
Yeah, the tension was gone and you were just relaxed and
Yep. And he's a slick fuck too. Another thing that happened was she almost married him again.
What?
She almost, because he's a knight in shining armor. You know how witnesses are. They will slick talk and go, well, I changed and I'm not that way and I've yada yada, so on and so forth. And yeah.
Right. Not to mention the love bombing crap. I'm sure he did that too.
Oh yeah, he was real sweet to her and you know, roses and all that and all the nice flowery romantic crap.
Oh yeah, your dad is like the classic abuser.
She almost fell for it. She told me that. If I had not pulled her aside and went, hey, come here, let me talk to you. While he was sleeping, she would have fallen into his web again, I guess. I don't even know. But I had to stop it. I had control at that point. And I knew it, I recognized it, and I used it.
Good.
That can happen. Sometimes you have to wait for it. And I'm speaking to the people in live chat or people that see this later on. There is always an out.
There is an out, yes.
Sometimes you have to wait for it, Sometimes it'll be blatant, but speak up. Do get help. You are not alone. Make it obvious that there is something that is going on that is not normal.
You got to tell somebody, make it known. Make it known. Somebody will know how to help you. Even if you can't figure out how to help yourself, somebody will know how. Just talk to the right people or talk to whoever who can put you in touch with the right people. And there's always somebody out there who is either willing to help you or willing to help you find somebody who can. It's out there. Full of 100% nasty, evil people. Like there are good organizations out there that will help you. And I don't mean like the organization. I mean like a normal, like charitable, like organization or something that will help people that are victims of domestic abuse.
Yeah.
Just anything. There are people out there. Yeah. We exist. We will help you. If we can't help you. Anyway,
and in my case, I couldn't trust the police. I couldn't trust anyone. I tried. And it wasn't good enough. It didn't seem like it was enough to have
man.
It was soul crushing. It was defeating. And it sucked. And it hurt mentally more than anything. I shouldn't have stopped. I should have. All right, here's the thing. When I was 16 and she went and came up and said, "Hey, you want to come with?" I should have just shut the door and left. Fuck everything I have in the house. Let's go. If anyone,
but you were a teen though, and you weren't thinking like you didn't know.
I did and I didn't. I chose the wrong path.
Right.
I chose the wrong path.
You were just
and I was being protected. Your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was being protected. And
that's all shit.
That's all I cared about. Fuck my own safety. I don't want her to hurt like I do right now.
Yeah. When you're in an abusive situation, your thinking is not always the most rational shit, and you will try to protect others sometimes before yourself. I remember when I was in that situation, I would always be worried about my siblings. You know, like, oh shit, I got to protect them first.
That's another thing. I've always wondered what would have happened to me if I was born a girl.
Oh shit. I want to think about that.
Yeah, I don't either. But given the scope of all of this, I'm assuming that everyone can understand that it would have gone bad. It would have gone real bad, real quick.
Yeah.
Again, I cannot say to that because I got a beard. Ha! But again, it is what it is. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Oh, all right. Chat real quick. Let's see here. These people do not change. Narcissistic people cannot be cured. Yeah, I actually wonder about that. I've never heard of any cure for narcissism to that extent anyway. I do know that narcissistic people can undergo things like dialectical behavioral therapy, which is basically just talk therapy where you train yourself to, and also they can be helped with, with a little bit of medication to keep some of the symptoms of the narcissism down. But no, I'm not really sure narcissism can actually be cured per se. So yeah, you're probably right about that. Oh, hey, Jason Zelda. Videos coming from Jason Zelda, so look out for that. Oh, hey, boss, what's up? I mean, I've seen John Wick 2. It's awesome. I love the first one too. A couple of movies actually. freaking Keanu Reeves is just awesome. I don't know if you've ever looked into his history or anything, but totally cool guy.
Okay. All right. And I'm not arguing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just explaining why I'm right.
Awesome shirt. Awesome shirt. Amanda, How many of your family have left Watchtower? And my dad, I guess. My dad left a long time ago, like probably when I was like 3 or so. Yeah, I haven't really had a relationship with him, so I don't really talk to my dad. I haven't talked to him in a few years, actually, and he doesn't really try to reach out to me either, so it is what it is on that point, so I don't care.
I'm Jason Zelda. I want to talk to you directly here for a second. When you posed the question about how to ask a current witness, well, hey, what would make you want to leave? And then just leave them with that and have them come back at it later on. I used that with the person that I'm studying with now. He answered that question right before I asked it. His response was, if there was any children being abused, basically, I would leave like that. Now,
he said, because it cut off.
If children were being hurt like that, and I've explained this sort of thing to him, if children were being abused, I would leave like that. So I'm going to use that later on. Thank you for wording it that way. It helps people. It really does. And I appreciate you making that video very much, because I would not have been able to word it that way and just leave it be. So thank you. Anyway, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt or not. Something like that.
They only asked me, Nigel asked me how many of my family have left the Watchtower. It's just me, and my dad's family. I say my dad's family as in like brothers and my sister that are from him, and my one stepbrother, I guess, that's from his wife. Yeah, they're all like, they go to a non-denominational Christian church. I mean, non-denominational and Christian, that seems like contradictory, but yeah. Right. Yeah, but yeah, it is basically Christian. My stepmom is Jewish, so my siblings are all Jewish by birth, and
wow,
like they're like Messianic Jews, so they're Jewish, but they also believe Jesus Christ is their savior. And a brother that's in the army, he's not from my dad, he's from my mom, and I think he's actually out of the army now, but yeah, he's an atheist. He was never a Jehovah's Witness. We were raised in it, but he was never baptized or anything. He never even pursued it after my mom died, and he went to go live with his dad. Oops, I said his name. Hope he doesn't get mad. But yeah, my brother, he, the one that does not want to talk to me anymore because of the videos that I make, one that's from my mom, and he is still a witness. He's baptized. He just got married earlier this year, and he's already got a son on the way. Scares the crap out of me because I'm kind of worried about what's going to happen to that poor kid, especially if the kid grows up and doesn't want to be a part of the organization anymore. But anyway, yeah, his wife is he said that everybody